Good morning. Welcome to another Tuesday edition of Wicked Recovery. According to the sobriety tracker on my phone, I have been sober now for 8 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. That's pretty cool. It dawned on me the other day. I've been sober for almost an entire pregnancy, which is pretty cool because my most recent pregnancy, which was 8 years ago, I wasn't even 100% sober for that. Now, don't get the wrong idea. I wasn't boozing during pregnancy. However, towards the end, when you kind of have the green light from doctors, like the last month or so, I did have a glass of wine a couple times. If you do the research, it's okay. But anyway, I think if that's not a sign of alcoholism, I don't know what it is. My first pregnancy, which was over 20 years ago now. He turned 20 on April 11th. My first pregnancy, I wouldn't even chew gum that had artificial sweetener. So I was a Puritan and also wasn't an addict. So yay, that's not what this week is about. I wanted to share with you the idea of mindset. Mindset reminds me a little bit of positive thinking or glass half empty, half full kind of stuff. I almost said crap. It's not crap, but it's old and it's tired, and you've heard it, no doubt, many times over the last couple decades, depending on how old you are. But this is similar but different. I mentioned this book on my other channel a month or so ago, and I'm hiding my name up in the top, but the book is called Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, How We Can Learn to Fulfill Our Potential, and it's by Carol S. Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. I'm reading it for a class. I've mentioned my class before. I'm not loving that class, but whatever, trudging through. It'll be over in a month or so. And mindset is, oh my gosh, it's so all-encompassing. Saying things like, oh, I suck at math, or I hate math, or I can't cook, I can't draw. All of that's actually mindset. If you have a growth mindset, you don't say things like, I suck at this, or don't ask me, I'm no good at that. You don't say that. You might recognize that some things you need to work more on and you have to work harder at, and you might understand that some people are born with talent, but talent, it turns out, being talented at something, being super smart, gifted, any of that kind of stuff, believe it or not, and I do believe it after teaching advanced learners, sometimes that is more of a hindrance than asset, more than an asset. Because the problem is when you've been told all your life, you're smart, this should be easy for you, or oh, you're just a natural born artist, it ends up shooting you in the foot. Or if you say it to your children, trying to build their confidence, it ends up doing more harm than good, because then it creates this fear of, what if they're wrong? Smart means it should be easy, right? No. Okay. It ends up creating people who are afraid to try sometimes, because if they can't do it easily on their first try, they're worried that everybody's going to think they're a fraud, and everybody who has said, oh, you're smart your whole life, are going to be disappointed. I'm getting kind of off on a tangent, but think about it for how we talk to ourselves, or how you talk to yourself, because again, your inner voice, your psychological dialogue that's going on, your mental dialogue that is playing in your mind, every waking moment pretty much can make or break you. When we fail, when we make mistakes, it's a scientific fact. You can read this book and she has all the resources. That is when we learn. If you have two human beings side by side who've gone 20 years, one has aced everything they've ever done and the other has struggled their whole way, I guarantee the one who has struggled but stayed open and not given up, that is such a stronger person. That is such the person you would want, probably, as a friend, as a mentor. Because the person who has the gifts and the talent and hasn't had to work at it, eventually everybody does get to a place where something takes a little bit more work. And the 20-year-old who has never been challenged their whole life, I'm going to make up the statistic, 9 times out of 10, the person who's never been challenged for their entire life is usually going to be the person who is going to buckle under pressure and suddenly doubt everything and be like, oh my God, I'm not smart. And those are the people, according to the book, who are more likely to lie about how they did because they have to maintain what others think. Those are the people who will take the easier class or drop the challenging class the minute they realize it's not easy, because they have to maintain this image of, I'm brilliant, it's easy. I think this can be related to addiction in the sense that being so hard on ourselves. If something is a challenge, if we struggle, it doesn't mean we're failures. It means we're learning and we're growing. Oftentimes, real growth is going to be a bit painful because it's going to change who you are. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone, which we've talked about before, put you somewhere really uncomfortable, and then you're going to be forced to sink or swim, fly or fall, whatever. And even if you sink, you will realize, I don't want to die right now. I need to be learning I'm going to tread some water. I'm going to not drown. I'm going to pull myself up, get scrappy with it, and figure it out. Recently, I was asked to define the word wisdom. I spent probably 10 minutes just making this one definition, like a short little sentence, and in essence it was, wisdom is the gratitude that grows from the place where broken pieces were planted. And for me, what that means is the lessons I am most grateful for are the places where I screwed up and I hurt others or was hurt. The places where I was broken and it felt like I didn't know if I was going to make it through. I made it through. I'm about to sing Madonna. Somehow I made it through. Didn't know how lost I was until I found YouTube. Oh God, that was stupid. Okay, my point is, the places that I struggled the most are the places where I feel like I've grown strongest. This topic is so huge and I am so scattered, I can't do it justice. So I would say my tip for the week is, if you enjoy books, get this book. It's on Audible, although I'm reading the physical copy because I need to highlight, take notes. I need to, if I really want to learn it for like a class, I need to interact with it more than I can just auditorily. Or look online. I imagine, I haven't looked, but I imagine YouTube is full of stuff with Carol Dweck and growth mindset. I think it's a game-changing book, a game-changing way of thinking. It's one of these books that it makes me, almost makes me sad to read it, because I already have 2 sons who are basically adults, and I wish I had known this stuff back then. But as a teacher and as a mom of a 7-year-old, it's not too late and I can use it. But you don't need to be a parent or a teacher. You need to be a human being. This will apply to you if you are a human. I was going to say who interacts with others, but I think the fact that you have to interact with your own thoughts, that's enough right there. Learn the difference between growth mindset and fixed mindset. Most of us, I think, were raised by people with fixed mindsets. This is a generalized statement, obviously. I think the large majority of people out there, at least in this country, probably have a very fixed mindset. Dude, I'm so early at work today. Look at this. My choice of parking spaces. It's 7:18. Usually I haven't even left the house at this hour. I was ready. I'm here. Thank you for watching. I apologize that it's a day late and $1 short, but you know what? I'm trying. Have a good week. Thank you for watching. Keep fighting.